Yeah, so Alexis Cavanagh with Mogul Realty out in Vancouver, moved out to Vancouver from Edmonton this year and have been an investor for close to 10 years now and longtime friend of James Canal's for almost 20 years. So yeah, managing partner out here in Vancouver and loving it. So similarly to the Edmonton market, it has been, quite hot. And then just this last month or two, things have kind of come to a little bit more of a calmer pace. Definitely not going to say it's a balanced market by all means, but definitely a calmer place than what we've seen in the past. And kind of to spin off what Josh said, we did have restrictions lifted as well. So I think people are they're wanting to get out. They don't want to be inside anymore. They want to go out. They want to be able to enjoy the summer. They want to be able to go hit up patios. And buying a home really isn't the first thing on their mind. So, I mean, I call a lot of my buyers, so any buyers, any investors out there who want to be able to go in and check out properties without potentially not being in a bidding war. It's a great opportunity right now. So I'm just going to pull up my stats here and fill y'all in. So the focus here is going to be on Metro Vancouver, and I'm just going to go month to month and then year to year. So when we're looking from 2020 to 2021, there definitely has been a change of total active listings by 2.3%. Sales year after year, once again, up 46%. And this is for the detached properties. As well, average days on market, as opposed to being 45, where it was last year, we're sitting at only 23, which is fantastic. However, the flip side of things, when we're looking from May over to June, we do have an increase on days on market. So you can kind of see that what I've spoke to before, the days on market are definitely extended. The sales have dropped a bit, total active listings as well. So it just kind of goes to show that things kind of have slowed down a little bit. Not a lot by all means, but definitely slowing down, and kind of this, we're feeling this momentum and buildup of things starting to ramp up again from what I've been hearing and talking with my colleagues in the industry. Looking at the condo market from last year to this year, there has actually, interestingly enough, been a decrease. So for the total active listings, sales, however, have increased by 61%. And then average days on market, once again, going from 32 down to 21 from last year to this year. However, looking at it from month to month, last month of May, we were at 19 and now we're to 21. So once again, things, slowing down just a little bit. However, sales, once again, going from 2,000 to 1,780. And then when we're looking at the townhome, going from last year to this year, it actually is down by 25%. So it's interesting how the townhome market has dropped a bit, but I think we're going to see why once we look at the graph there in just a little bit. So sales going from up 53.6%. So that's 412 in 2020. And then this year is 633. And then average days on market from last year to this year has also decreased from 37 to 16. But when we're looking month over month, it's actually stayed the same from May to June. So it's interesting because the townhome market has definitely stayed quite stable for this year and also during COVID. So I'm just going to show you guys this quick graph, which shows us kind of where we're heading towards. And so as you can see, we spiked right about here. So that was in March. So our March and April were just nuts. It was on fire. Everybody that you spoke to was just like, it was multiples. Everybody was just trying to get into the market, but it was really, really tough. Awesome for sellers, but definitely challenging for buyers. And as you can see right here, things just dropped off. And so right now we're heading towards a more balanced market. We're still definitely in a seller's market, but it's not as hot as it has been in past months by all means. And then when we're kind of looking down here, take it down to the detached properties. Just going to kind of go over like days on market, which is 23, days on market for the condo, 21. And then for townhomes, that's 16. So like I said, once again, townhomes have definitely been quite strong throughout everything. And then this is just our average, the benchmark price. So right now for our detached home, we're looking at 1.8. And for the townhomes, just shy of $1 million. And then for condos, we're looking at 737,000 as being an average. So yeah, just kind of to generalize things again, we have definitely headed more towards a balanced market, but it's not a balanced market right now by all means, but it is a great opportunity for anyone who might be looking to go out there and not have to be in such a competitive environment.
That's great, Alexis. You know, it's interesting because obviously us as investors know that real estate is actually very local, and how real estate prices can change from block to block and certainly from neighborhood to neighborhood. Yet we could also feel that it was most crazy in Edmonton, March, April, and then things definitely started to soften in May and June. So I would say that probably was right across the country where certainly at least in you know, two major markets where things definitely crested and softened up in May and June. You're certainly not where we are, obviously, but they're very different markets. But just interesting how it seems like the two markets crested around the same time. Everybody that was going to buy has probably bought, so it's a great time for investors to be looking, because there's probably a lot of listings out there that people feel are disappointed that they missed that rush. How are things feeling out there with any of your sellers in regards to, do they feel they missed things?
Not necessarily, because like I said, right now, and it also depends kind of what you were talking about before, Devin, that different areas are seeing different movement as well. So for example, if we're looking on the north side, North Van, days on market is at 8 or 6 to 9 days, depending on if you're looking for a condo or single family. So predominantly different if we're looking at a generalized Metro Vancouver. So it really depends on where specifically you're selling, and then also for buyers. So like I said, a lot of my investors right now, we're going to be honing in on areas that, you know, were extremely hot, but now they have softened a little bit, but it's a great opportunity to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And that certainly makes me think of another point in regards to when we're looking at neighborhoods to buy in. There's certainly areas that lead the market, areas that move with the market, and then other areas that lag behind. And, you know, there's certain areas in Edmonton that never really did get going at all. I mean, I highly doubt it, but I'll ask anyways, did that happen at all in Vancouver, or was pretty much everything just shooting up like gangbusters?
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it as a whole, for sure, like, I mean, there's going to be some pockets by all means, but for the most part, everything has gone up. But right now there are, yeah, I know. And actually there's some places which, I mean, I was looking at Bowen Island, for example. I was just out there the other week, and markets have gone up by, I think, 46%, if I'm not mistaken. So it's there's a wide range. It's that's the thing about the Vancouver market, is not only has it gone up quite a bit, but there's also a pretty big range within it too.
Perfect. Well, great job. Thank you so much. That's Alexis out in Vancouver.